All right. Well, welcome to our family Bible study for Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. Happy April Fool's Day. I know the girls played...
Just for TJ.
Yeah, played a prank on their nephew, and that's all fun. But we hope that you're having a good day. We're going to study about 1 Samuel 18, maybe a little bit of 19, where Saul gets jealous of David. I've got Claire here with us. Our older daughter is in her room. Oh, you okay? Our older daughter is in her room on a conference call. Never thought that in elementary school my children would be on conference calls, but these are unique times, aren't they? But we're glad that you're studying along this story with us. Let's talk about last week. We learned about David and Goliath. What's something that you learned from David and Goliath that you remember?
Goliath was on the Philistine side, and he was a giant, and he was at least 9 feet tall.
Okay, so Goliath was a Philistine. He was at least 9 feet tall.
That's way taller than Daddy.
Way taller than you and me. I guess maybe if you stacked the two of us, we'd get. Well, he would actually be a little bit taller, wouldn't we? But that's how tall Goliath was, right? He was a great warrior. And David was what? Was he a great mighty warrior?
He was a shepherd boy.
He was a shepherd boy, but of course he said, God's
on my side!
Right, yeah, God's on his side, and also the fact that...
Except much kinder.
Well, yes. And, but also the fact that he had defended his sheep, right, against bear and lions. He killed a lion with his own bare hands, right? Remember we learned about that?
Samson and somebody else.
Yeah, Samson and Benaiah, the son of Hilkiah, I believe. The only other people in the Bible that had killed a lion with their bare hands. And so David took how many stones with him?
5. And they were smooth, just for more information.
Okay, so smooth stones. Went down, picked out 5 smooth stones.
From the river.
From the river. Only took 1 to kill Goliath. What did Goliath think of David coming out to fight him?
Ha ha ha, very funny.
That's right. Well, he was maybe more than just funny. He thought he was insulted, right? I'm a great warrior. Why are you sending this little boy out to
kill me,
to battle me, right? And but anyway, so remember that David won, right? And what happened after David won? Were the people happy? Were the people sad?
They were.
The Israelites, were they happy or sad?
They were
happy.
Partying!
Okay. I don't know about partying. But you'll remember later on when they come into town, I don't think it's in here, but you remember later on when they came into town that Saul has killed his thousands and David has killed his tens of thousands. So that made Saul really jealous of David, and that's where we get to here. There's in 1 Samuel, there's an account of Saul going and getting advice from people that he shouldn't be listening to, right? And so instead of getting his guidance and advice from God, like we all should, he got
it from humans.
Yeah, I got it from humans, from sorcerers and things like that. Different people who lied to him, basically. How Claire, would you and I get our advice from God today? This is a very dramatic pause here, but I know. That's right. So if we want advice from God, we get it from the Bible, right? So we don't go and sorcerers and all this kind of stuff that Saul did. We should also pray, right? Pray to God for wisdom. Is God gonna tell you in a big voice, Claire, you shouldn't do that? Is that what God's gonna do? No. You're gonna have what you've learned in the Bible. You're gonna have prayer and wisdom. But God's not going to say something directly to you. He doesn't do that anymore. So, that's right. He did back here in the Old Testament, but under the New Covenant, that's not the way it's done, is it? Right. So, now Saul, as king of Israel, made some really bad choices, and he was rejected by God as being king of Israel. How do you think that made him feel?
War.
Probably might need to sit down. You may not be in the frame of the camera right now. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So it made him angry, made him sad, and so that wasn't good. And so one of the things that they did, as Saul got angrier and angrier, when he got mad, they found out that if they play music for him, he calms down. So who did they find that was a really good at playing? David. The lyre. They found David. David was really good. So when he got angry and bitter, they'd call David in, and David could play this music and really soothe Saul. And so David would go back and forth between the palace playing and also still tending to the sheep, right? So one time, remember last week we learned about how David went out to visit his brothers when they were out at battle with the Philistines, and we remember that David killed Goliath, and so we already talked about that a little bit tonight. But we realized that David was now a hero, right? He was a national hero, and so he was quickly taking the place of Saul. And that made Saul angry, right? Where Saul should have been proud of David and what he had accomplished, he was angry. What's something, Claire, that we can be proud of that other people might accomplish? What's something you can think of?
Winning the spelling bee.
Oh, yeah. So like Avery's classmate won the spelling bee at the school, so be proud of her. If somebody were to celebrate something with you, what is something they could celebrate?
Birthday?
A birthday, yeah. Birthdays are always fun to celebrate. We enjoy
accomplishing a new age.
Accomplishing a new age. You had a big accomplishment lately. You learned to ride your bike. Oh, okay. Well, let's not slap daddy. It's not a good thing to do either. But we remember that it's big accomplishments. A lot of people were proud of you for learning to do that, and they celebrate along with you. But back to our story. Saul wasn't happy, wasn't celebrating with David his great accomplishment. In fact, he got so jealous that he
tried to kill him twice.
Whoa, he tried to kill him twice. And really, later on, there's another time, the third time, he tries to kill him, right? But 2 times right there together, and David was able to dodge it. And we know that, that obviously we shouldn't ever try to hurt people, right? Mm-hmm. Right? We should never be angry with people, want to hurt them. So one of the things that we all deal with at every age is jealousy, right? Am I too far out for you there? So what kind of things do you see here in this picture?
A boy who's eating chicken and a boy who just has an apple.
Okay. So maybe jealous of what the other person's getting to eat. Has that ever happened to you?
Of somebody loving someone more.
Oh yeah. I want to always be the center of mommy's attention, right?
And then money. That's just.
Oh yeah, lots of piggy banks and really no piggy banks. Is that a broken piggy bank? Let me hold that up where they can see it real good. And all those different pictures. And so how we recognize that jealousy is something like that is not good at all.
It's a sin.
Can you? Whoa! Look at that! You saw that right there on the page, right? We know a lot of times that jealousy leads to other things. We know here in our story that jealousy led Saul to try and kill David, right?
3 times.
Yeah, it leads to lying. It leads to other sins. That the Bible tells us in Romans 13:13 that God hates. So we don't want to do that. So jealousy is sin. So even though Saul was very jealous and hateful toward David, David never retaliated, even though he had a right, I guess. He never acted toward Saul in a way that was hurtful to him, because he wanted to make sure that he was right in God's sight. And so we should be happy for the achievement of others and be content with what we have, and pray that God will help us to never have bad thoughts about anyone. So we're happy to learn about this event that happened here. We're sad, aren't we, for Saul, We're happy for David and his good choices. What's one thing that you learned from this lesson about jealousy that you're going to apply in your own life?
Don't do it.
Don't be jealous. Okay. So what's the opposite of jealous? You know what the opposite of jealous is? Kindness. Kindness would be a good opposite. Hope you enjoyed our Bible study together tonight. We hope that you're having a good time learning about the Bible in your home with your family.